Hi. So it's like almost 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and I felt like making a video even though I'm super tired. But I was inspired to make this video because of what I did today. So for my job, I had to be outside, and it's so funny because it's a desk job. Like, I'm a writer, I'm a technical writer. And so I write technical things or I edit technical things or whatever. But today I got to go like on a demonstration just to kind of like see, as the new person there, they were like, oh, we want you to come see this, just to kind of get a feel for how things go or how this type of event runs. And so I spent the day in a forest in Massachusetts, and that was really interesting. So the thing about Massachusetts, which I did not know until maybe like last week, is that ticks are a thing here. And apparently they're a thing all over the place in this area. And they're also apparently a thing in Virginia, which I did not know for the 11 years that I was living there, but I call that a blessing in disguise. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so ticks are here. And I was warned to get bug spray and to dress, wear, long sleeves and everything, cover as much skin as possible. I mentioned in the previous video that I don't like spiders. Well, I don't like bugs. I know there's probably quite a few of you out there who feel me on that, okay? But yeah, so I basically had so much anxiety about this ticks issue and like all that stuff. Okay, I gotta stop talking about this because this is not what the video is about. But basically, knowing that I was going to be in a forest all day, knowing that I was going to have to deal with this thing, like deal with these bugs, had me thinking about my main character of my Stormcloud series, Race, who I've talked about a bit on this channel. So she's a forest girl. She loves being in the forest, loves this kind of an understatement. That is her place. She loves plants and trees as much as I love carbohydrates. Okay, so girl knows what's up. So as I was driving through the forest, because I have to drive through the forest to get to the place, I kept thinking about Race, or I started to think about Race. And I started to think about, okay, Race loves the forest. Race is not bothered by the forest. She's not bothered by the bugs. These are all good things to her. These are all things that she's used to. She's grown up around trees and all the things that live in them. So basically, I kind of had to think about that. Like, how would Race feel? I just had to be Race. I had to become Race. That got me thinking about, embodying the qualities of my characters, taking on some of their characteristics in whatever way that may happen. So yeah, that's kind of what inspired me to do this video today. Side note, sort of conclusion to the whole forest story. It was fine. Didn't come across any ticks that I'm aware of. I did the check and everything, and I took a shower as soon as I got home. There was just a lot of gnats flying around. So this was me like the whole time. It's driving me nuts, and the bug spray like did nothing to them. So yeah, anyway. So embodying characteristics of my characters. It's just really interesting because when you think about it, like, these are characters who have come from my brain. Like, I made them up. Or sometimes I feel like I don't make these things up, I discover them. There's that Michelangelo quote that goes something like, I saw the angel on the marble and I carved until I set him free. And so these characters have come from my brain. So you could argue that they're actually like a version of me, or like they're a piece of me, even if the characters' personalities and their lifestyles are quite different from me. But I still can relate to them in some ways. Race, now, I've talked about before a lot, and particularly in one video, which I will link down below. It's my video on creative depression in my Them's Writing Word series. So I will link that video down below, but basically I talked about how, in one part of it, I talked about how Race is very much like me. She's sort of a self-insert, and that was not intentional. And she's not 100% self-insert, just sort of like her personality in terms of her shyness, her introversion. I was like, what's the word? She doesn't like confrontation, stuff like that. So me and Race share those characteristics, but also, like I said, she loves the forest. There's different things like that, but just, it made me kind of feel like one-on-one with her. We were right here today. We were right here, and even though I was still freaking out about all the gnats, I was cool. It was alright. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And so another character who I have not mentioned on this channel before, but I'll go ahead and give you her name because it's a common enough name, like whatever. Her name is Amber, and she is the protagonist of my Pitchfork series. So I haven't talked about this series very much on the channel, but basically Amber is in a lot of ways the exact opposite of Race, the exact opposite of me, in that she is that girl who says exactly what you wish you could say. Like, you know, when something happens, if somebody ticks you off, instead of just thinking the angry, the mad, the mean, the curse words in your head, she says them out loud without hesitation. Like, I wish I had her bravery. Of course, it does come back to bite her in the butt, you know, and sometimes, so she doesn't just say the things that I wish I could say. She says the things that I for sure don't want to say, things that are inappropriate, things that cross the line, the things that you just blurt out without realizing, and then once you realize it, you're like, oh crap, should not have said that. She says all of that. She has no filter, which, you know, is kind of a blessing and a curse, I'm sure she would say. She's sort of my outlet in that situation. Like, anytime I face somebody who pisses me off, you know, instead of saying the thing right there, I can just kind of save that up, bottle that up, and then later on when I'm writing Amber in a scene, I can just let it all out. And I can override it. I can write every darn curse word in the book. I can take some of them out later in revisions because you know that I probably went a step too far, but it feels good to just get that out. So that's one way that I kind of embody the qualities of my characters in real life. Another way is when I do this sort of like, I like, you know, they call it method acting, for example, like actors who are becoming the character. Like, they don't just act like the character when they're performing the scene. They act like the character even once the director yells cut or whatever, they're still acting like the character. The first example that I can think of is the guy who played the Joker, Jared Leto, in the Suicide Squad. I didn't actually see this movie, but I heard stories about like how he was still acting like the Joker even on the set when they weren't filming. So that's sort of an example of method acting, and like a lot of famous actors do method acting. But I do this when I write. So, you know, I'm acting out a scene with my character, and maybe my character is angry, or she's making some facial expression or making some kind of action with her body, and I act out that action, or I make that face, or, you know, I'm like you should see me writing. Like, I know that I'm doing it. I'm aware that I do it, but like I'm like writing, and like I'll do these facial expressions where I'll mouth the dialogue out loud, or if I'm in public, I might just mouth the dialogue under my breath or something. But like, I'm acting it out, you know. It probably sounds a lot more extreme than it actually is, and maybe it seems more dramatic in my head than it actually looks to somebody who's watching me. But, you know, it's just kind of interesting. Like I have to know how to describe it, right? So I have to like act it out. I gotta act it out right then and there when I'm writing the scene. And I know it probably looks a little crazy, but hey, it gets the job done, okay? And as Edgar Allan Poe said, I am a writer, and therefore I am not sane. That was the phrase on my graduation cap, everybody. If I had it with me, I would show you. It's at home in Virginia. Yeah, so that's kind of all I have to say about that topic. I just wanted to kind of share that since I was so inspired to talk about it after being in the woods today. Oh, I was like, what is that in my hair? I was like, oh my gosh, it got me. No, it's just a piece of lint. Oh gosh, I'm so tired. I have to go to bed. This is what happens when I'm tired. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever I post new videos. I'm not sure what this action is, but maybe this will be the new thing. I'm trying to see if I can get my foot in frame, but I am not flexible enough. Oh wait, no, you don't want to see my feet. Never mind. They don't look good. Okay, I'm ending this video now. I forgot what I was just saying. Okay, toodaloo, bye.
Oh my queen, we are here again with your lonely eyes and your rusty skin.